cold morning here in southern Appalachia, cold January morning. I don't know how cold it was, but there was a big frost on, in the 20s maybe.
About 25.
About 25, cold. Me and Matt, every year on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, I do two different posts in January where one of them I look back over the whole year of writings and talk about which was my favorites, maybe for each month. I usually do them by month and different things like that. I'm always surprised too. I'm like, did I write about that? I've forgotten by the end of the year. And then also we always do a post where we talk about the future, what we want to do for the coming year, and then also we share the one from last year and show what we accomplished and what we didn't accomplish at all. Usually the ones we didn't accomplish at all are rank higher, or there's more of them than the ones that we actually accomplished. Anyway, I don't think we've done anything like that on YouTube though. I don't think we did last year, did we? It doesn't seem like it. I don't think so. If we did, we've forgotten that too, just like I forget some of the posts that I've written. So this year we're going to talk a little bit about 2023 and then 2024, which is going to be a very exciting year. 2023 was exciting though.
Yeah.
Seems like it went by in a blur because we were so busy.
Mm-hmm.
Started out the year with Miss Cindy being sick, and us just in the beginning stages of, we thought she was Miss Cindy is Matt's mother, if you don't know, that she was getting dementia, and we'd noticed it and she noticed it and we'd had conversations, but it was kind of in the beginning of the 2023 when we were like, we've got to begin to be worried about her safety, so we've got to do something, and encouraged her. She was someone who never had to go to the doctor. She was very, very healthy, and she didn't really go to doctors. She kind of took care of her own health needs and did very well at that until the end. Anyway, that led us on the journey to find out pretty quickly that it wasn't dementia at all. It was cancer, and it was already in her brain. So that took up at least the whole half of the first of 2023, caring for her and worrying, and especially in the last days and weeks and the last 2 months, I guess, of her life, that just was all consuming until she passed away. So really sad part of our 2023 for sure. And then not long after that, we found out that my mother, Granny, had cancer. So that was like a double whammy. She'd been actually suffering some, but kind of being quiet about it, not sharing, because she knew what we were dealing with Miss Cindy. She loved Miss Cindy too, and so she was kind of waiting until all that was kind of situated, and then broke the news that she had not been feeling very well. And we kind of knew, but we didn't know as bad as it was. She'd been keeping a little bit of it from us. Anyway, so the rest of the year was kind of consumed with taking care of Granny and taking her she did, unlike Miss Cindy, she decided she would try to, do what the doctor said. So that included days of treatments every day, having to go, and I did most of that, and caring for her when she didn't feel good and all those kind of things. And Paul and my brother Steve certainly helped. And as far as Granny, a lot of people in the last day or so, seems like they've asked us, her treatments are finished. She says she thinks that she's better and feeling better, but we still don't have that final proof from the doctor as far as what the treatments actually, if they shrunk the tumor or not. Hopefully we will get that this week sometime. Last week she went for an MRI, so hopefully that'll show what they want to see. Anyway, all of that was a crazy 2023.
Yeah, it was busy. Went by quick.
We just went by, seems like in a flash.
Yeah, a whole lot of our list we didn't get done from last year.
And then you add in the garden. We always try to grow a big garden, and we still did this year, even though we neglected it, especially after Miss Cindy got really sick. We just kind of let it go, and the stuff still grew though, a lot of it, but we certainly didn't care for it like we usually do. But so add in that, and then it's kind of like life, the bittersweet, or the good and the bad, how it is for anyone. The great part of 2023 though was mine and Jim Cassidy's cookbook. So it was published in May, right in the time that we were, deep in the caring for Miss Cindy and all that. But it's just been a huge success, wonderful success. And we're so blessed. Me and Jim both still just can't hardly believe how wonderful it's been received, and we're just thrilled and humbled and honored and all that. But as Matt was saying, that added to the busyness. There was a lot of book signings, which we really enjoyed. Then there was the shipping the cookbooks, which we're still doing today. So that was like a whole new, I guess, aspect of our lives that we hadn't ever had to deal with, shipping stuff on that kind of, like that large of a scale.
Yeah. Some part of every day is packing up books and taking them to the post office.
Yeah, so that was a whole new thing too in the middle of all that.
And it's still kind of that way. I mean, it's not as busy and big as it was, but it's still
a constant. Yeah, constant. So everybody here knows how to ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're all on first name basis with the post office people.
Yeah,
they hate to, good or bad. Sometimes I think they hate to see us coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that was wonderful. And then another wonderful thing that happened in 2023 is Matt got to come home. I still can't hardly believe it. It's so great.
It is. I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah. So in August, Matt left his full-time job to come home and help me full-time, and it's been really nice, hasn't it?
Yeah. It has. Make you lazy if you don't find something to do.
Well, you deserve to be a little bit lazy after the way you've worked. People tease me in the comments that I work Matt hard, but I don't work him as hard as what he worked on his job.
No, gosh, no.
Yeah, and we're both hard workers anyway. We enjoy the actual work, crazy as that sounds. But when you're doing it for yourself, so much better than doing it for the man, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean, you can, whatever really strenuous work that you do, you can do it at your own pace or do it when you want to during the day. Or if you don't want to do it that day, put it off to another day.
Yeah.
You know, it's not within a time constraint. In other words,
you're not working around somebody else's dictates.
Right.
So you can get up really early, which is what Matt likes to do, and do it all, and then do what you know, maybe the things you think are funner. Or things like that, or like Matt said, just don't do it at all till the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've really, really enjoyed that. Matt being here, all of us have. Corey works for me some, and then of course Katie's still here, so it's just wonderful. We're a really close-knit family. Wonderful for us all to be here. Austin is still working full-time, of course, outside the house, but he's over here a lot in the evenings, and I think he likes knowing that Corey's here with us, and where if she needs anything, you know, on the days that she is here, she's not here every day, but I think he likes that. He comes from a very, very close family too, so he certainly understands how nice that is for us all to be together.
Right.
And the other exciting major thing that was really great that happened in 2023 is that me and Matt found out we're going to be grandparents.
Yeah, twice.
Twice, yeah. Twice. So that's really wonderful, yeah. Really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a major big change.
It'll be a major change, but all good.
Oh yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah, Matt's already planning into the future for the grandsons, both grandsons. If you didn't know, Corey's expecting a boy, and Katie is too. Austin and Corey are thrilled, and all of us, I think, me and Katie and Corey and Austin and Matt and our whole family and Austin's whole family, all are planning into the future, looking forward to all those wonderful things.
Yeah, it'll be fun toting one of them up the creek, or both of them, playing with them in the woods.
Another thing we did, go back to the cookbook a little bit in 2023, was, well, two things actually. One of them was for the first time, kind of at the end of I guess it was all in 2023 though. This year I got it out earlier, so I guess last year it was all in 2023. We offered the almanac calendars, like if you remember, maybe you remember seeing them in your grandparents' home or your mom and dad's home, and we offered those for the first time. Now, I always say, wherever you live, you should go to your insurance companies, where your funeral home, banks,
co-ops maybe.
Yeah, feed stores, all those kind of things, and see if they have them for free, because sometimes they give them away for free, so that's what you should do first. But there's so many people that kept telling me there's just nowhere, I can't get them. So we sold them for the first time, and that went really well. Again, that was our first indication of shipping, learning how to ship. And the first ones that we print our labels here, which helps us and helps the post office, but The first ones we put the labels on wrong, so we had to bring them back home and redo them. But Miss Cindy, bless her heart, she actually helped us then. We would go get her and she'd come over, and so some of those she actually helped us ship. But anyway, so we did that, and that was a huge success. We also have them this year, so if you've not picked up your almanac, I'll leave that link in the description. So that was an exciting, good thing that happened in 2023. And then there was another one that was, we didn't actually do the work for this one. My brother Paul did. But all the years since Pap, my dad, Paul's dad, and Steve's dad died, 2016, music was a huge part of his life and huge part of all of our lives, of course. And he wrote, I think, over 100 gospel songs. And so Paul really had this desire he wants to record them all, put them out there, just get them down so other people maybe will learn them and enjoy them and be blessed by them. So he'd been working on a CD literally since Daddy died in 2016. And a few of the recordings actually have Daddy in them, which is really wonderful. But then a lot of them Paul did all on his own. I have a video where he talks about it, so I'll just link to that so you can go back and watch that if you missed it. But anyway, that finally come to fruition in 2023. Live to Never Die is the CD, and it is amazing. And I'm so thankful to Paul for working on it all those years, literal years he's worked on it. All of our family is. We're so grateful that he did that. And really wonderful to hear it and know all the times he's worked on it. He would let us hear bits and pieces, as he went along. But of course, he was working a full-time job, and he could only work on it, in the spare time that he had, and that's why it took so long. So that was really an exciting thing for our entire family that happened in 2023. And I guess since we're talking about the family at large, that was another thing too that happened just at the tail end of 2023 is that Paul got to retire. So he's still really enjoying. I think he's still trying to sink into.
Still shell shocked.
Yeah, shell shocked from realizing he don't have to get up at 5 o'clock and drive a school bus anymore and all that. And actually, we didn't, but. His school had him a retirement party yesterday, and we went to it, and it was very, very nice. And nice to see what they all thought about Paul, and I know they'll miss him terribly, but it was really, really nice. Anyway, so that was another thing. So 2023 was, like Matt said, it just went by in a blur. And there was so much sadness and worry and angst, but then there was so much blessings too. There were so many good things that happened. So I can't say that it was a horrible year or the worst year ever.
No.
I think it was just really a good example of life. There's kind of always the bitter and the sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
So now when we think about 2024, which is already here, hard to believe.
Yeah.
We got lots of plans. Would you agree?
I think we got more plans than we got time.
Maybe, especially with two little ones coming, 2 little grandsons.
Yeah, I think we're a little optimistic.
Well, go big or go home.
I reckon.
Or just do like what I do on the Blind Pig. I have all those goals we do every year, and then we try, but we don't actually usually ever achieve all of them. Yeah. So.
Well, we'd have to really be doing it to do all this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we?
Matt is excited to be here to help in all the various ways that he's usually not able to, or neither one of us were till I come home, and then since I've been home I've been able to do it. But to really, we love to garden, but there's so many things that you want to get started on but you can't because you're working full time, and then thinking about the spring, getting ready for planting, and then always Murphy's Law, and then the weekend you're ready to do it, it rains or something, you can't do it. So I know Matt's going to love not having that constraint. And be able to do stuff as he wants to do it. Yeah,
that'd be nice. So you don't have to worry so much about weather when you've got every day,
Right.
Whereas before, I had to try to cram everything we wanted done in on Saturday. And a lot of days you just couldn't do it. It was either raining or cold or whatever, and you couldn't get it done. But now it don't really matter this year. If it's raining one day, we'll just wait till the next, or wait till the day after that.
So we have big plans about the garden, and we'll share those with you in just a moment. Some of our other plans, though, Jim and I, our book did do good so well that we're going to work on another book. It's not going to be necessarily a cookbook, but it will probably have some recipes in it. But thinking about how traditionally people in the Appalachian Mountains lived really close to the land, that's kind of the theme of it. So that's really exciting. Another exciting thing I want to work on for Granny, and I wanted to work on it in 2023, and it just didn't happen. But many years ago, she got me. Granny's a poet. She's writes beautiful poetry, especially when she was younger. And many years ago, she got me to put it all, kind of compile them. I did one of those print on demand kind of things online, and made 2 different books for her. One like Christmas themed poems, and then a different one that had other stuff. Anyway, and she gave them away. I think she even sold some back then, but she's always wanted me to redo them and get her more, because she don't have any of them, left except the one that she had, one that she kept for herself. So I didn't get that done. So I really want to do that this year. And I really think some of you might enjoy it, so maybe we can figure out a way to do it where we could publish enough so that she could sell them through our Etsy shop or something like that. The work's kind of all done, except some little changes she wanted to make. It's just that's been so many years ago now, finding another place to go through to actually get that done. There's some other little books that I want to work on. I don't know if that'll happen in 2023, but I've had so many times over the years people tell me, well, Tipper, the Blind Pig, can't you just put it in a book? Just put it in a book. I remember I even had someone that's so touched and said, I don't care if you just make copies on a copier and staple them. Would you just do that? So I wish there was somehow I could, not thinking of putting it all in a book. For one thing, it'd be too big of a book, but 2, it'd be repetitious, because there's things I wrote about, over the years, the same subject, but that somehow I could maybe offer volumes of it, or maybe focus on one area, something like that. Before Jim and I did the cookbook, now Jim has many books, and I'll leave a link to his website too, so you can go look at them. That was how he made his living as a writer. But the only other book I had done, well, actually 2. One was back in those days when I did Granny's. I made a little picture book and sold it on my website. I didn't sell very many of them, but I'd like to do something like that again too. But I did make a little e-cookbook, so it's just downloadable. You don't, you could print it out yourself, but most people would probably just keep it on their device. And I'll leave that link if you would like to. It's just my 10 favorite recipes from Appalachia, but I'd like to do something again like that, where it's just an e-book for people. So those are all exciting things that we hope to work on, and it'll give me more time to work on things like that now that Matt is home, because he can do some of the stuff I was doing, whether it's cook supper.
Take up the slack.
Yeah, take up the slack. Yeah, give me a little bit extra time to work on them. What else was it exciting we had about that? A lot of people, once me and Matt's drinking out of our Rob Withrow mugs, a lot of people have asked us about mugs. So we're working on that, maybe to have like a limited supply of mugs to sell too, with the Celebrating Appalachia logo on it. His mugs are great. Mm-hmm. They're great. And of course you can buy them at other places. You don't have to buy them from us. But all those are things that we're thinking about. Of course, we want to continue to make videos, and I want to really near and dear to my heart, but this year I just didn't manage to do it with all the things we had going on, but I want to interview more people. All those older people, they have so much wisdom, to offer, whether it was the ones I've done in the past. There's a variety of different people that I've interviewed thinking about them. From Granny Hicks to Ruby to the Flowers family, all those different, and more besides those, Richard Carter, all kinds of people. But I would love to do that, to be able to share more, because they have so much, so much knowledge, and just their everyday stories, I think, they're worthy of being recorded. So I really hope to do that. Anything else? What about you before we share the big gardening news?
That's about all I know of other than that.
Yeah, fishing and hunting, and
how much of that I'll get done with babies.
Yeah, maybe.
It's going to make me feel bad to go fishing if Katie can't go, and she can't go because she's with a baby, so I don't know if I'll fish a whole lot.
She'll have to get one of those packs and take a little bit along with her.
Yeah, I mean, at some point that's what she'll do, but I don't think in the first week she'll be doing that. And that's about when it's going to start.
Yeah. Well, you and Austin may have to sneak off for that because he'd still have some time before his arrives. So
yeah, and then he'll be going through the same thing.
Yeah. So Matt has really enjoyed getting to hunt more though, and
gosh, yeah,
and even chop wood or do whatever you want to do. I mean, you do like to work, but when you're doing it for yourself, it's just so rewarding.
Yeah, your pace is a lot slower, and you can spread it out and just go at an even. You don't have to go at it like fighting fire like I've always done.
One other thing, talking about the videos that me and Matt hope to do in the coming months, like he said, probably sooner than later, but he got a lot of nice, like kind of outdoor stuff for Christmas. So we hope to go up in the woods and try some of that out.
Yeah, as soon as it'll get a little bit warmer. It's pretty cold right now.
Yeah, pretty cold, but we hope to do some of that. Matt had a list of stuff we was going to do, and now we can't find the list.
Might have to make another.
Might have to make another one. But as far as the gardening, our big excitement that we have for 2024 is if you watch our videos and you hear us talk about gardening and we grow all the things, but we don't grow corn. We always say, well, we can't grow corn because we've tried up here on the Goat Bluff, but there's just not enough sunshine. And corn really, really needs sunshine to grow. And, we really mourn that fact. And we used to grow corn with Pap in Pap's big garden, and we helped him. We kind of had our gardens up here. Granny and Pap had their garden at their house, and then together we had that big garden where we planted corn,
beans, potatoes, tomatoes, squash.
Yeah, but mostly the corn and the
biggest,
majority of it.
Biggest part of it
beans.
was corn and 2 big long rows of beans.
And potatoes. On the years we grew potatoes, a lot of times we tried to talk Granny out of the potatoes.
Yeah, and they'd work you to death.
Anyway, after Pap died, though, the piece of land like that the garden is actually on, it is actually like mine and Paul and Steve. We share all of Pap's land, so it is actually on all of our. We all own it. But Steve wanted to have an orchard, and of course nobody didn't care. That was fine. So he planted some trees and some berries, and he's really, really enjoyed it. And we've all enjoyed it because he shared the fruit with us. And I've got to put up grapes about every year since his grapes started coming in. This past year his peaches did good, so just lots of joy there, even though that was the place where we used to grow corn. Well, in this last year, my brother Steve and his wife Kim, they decided they wanted to downsize. Their kids are all grown out of their house. They have a fairly large house, bigger than ours, and they wanted a smaller house and a change, if you will. So anyway, they have moved. They're going to sell their house. They've bought another house. It's beautiful, such a beautiful, beautiful place.
It's a pretty place.
Oh, it's beautiful, lovely. Not too far from us, but just smaller and more intimate, I guess you would say. Just beautiful, really beautiful place. Anyway, and the plan is that Corey and Austin are going to buy their house, thinking about the future kids they'll have and the one that's on the way. They'll be closer to us. They'll be in a more, I guess you'd say, remote place compared to where they're at now. Right. Where they're at now is really a nice, very nice house, a beautiful neighborhood and all that, but it's more of a subdivision, I guess you would say. So if they get to move over here closer to us, that'll be wonderful in Steve and Kim's house, and that's certainly the plan. Anyway, but because Steve has left, then it'd be either up to us, me and Paul and Matt, to keep up the orchard or, to let it go or whatever we wanted to do with it. And when I say orchard, don't imagine like a... Yeah. Makes me think of in Haywood County when you're on the interstate and you see all those apple trees. It's not like that. It's more like what? 5 trees, 6 trees, something, I don't know, 7 trees, 8 trees, no more than that though. So it's not like a giant orchard or anything. Anyway, and so then when it comes right down to it, Paul really don't care because he's not a gardener, but me and Matt, we're like peaches or corn. Corn's gonna weigh out. Yeah. So that's our big excitement, is that we're gonna bring Pap's big garden back to life. And can't wait.
Yeah, it'd be good, just nothing else, just for the nostalgia of it, because I don't know how many years he grew a garden there. I mean, it was long before I came here, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him together worked in it for probably 20 years, wouldn't you figure?
Yeah.
And then I always kind of missed that.
Yeah.
Especially missed being down on flat ground.
Yeah, compared to the
gardening.
goat bluff.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're gonna bring that thing back and plant it full of corn, and that'll be kind of like a blast from the past, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
But it's gonna add much more gardening to us. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of work to get to that point too.
yeah, there's not been a garden planted there in 8 years,
Yeah.
and it's all grown over with grass, and it's got the trees planted and stuff in it. So we're gonna have to get it turned and tilled and all that, and get the other trees either transplanted or whatever we're gonna do
Yeah.
with those trees.
We're going to try to transplant them, but
Right.
hopefully that will work. And then too, like towards the end, like Matt's saying, the last few years that we did have a garden down there, even then, it's amazing how fast trees grow and all that. Even at the end there, we were all, me and Matt and Pap, and as we would talk about the garden, saying that we needed to cut trees. Because of the way the sun rises, and that part gets a lot of sun, but those trees were beginning to shade it, trees that didn't used to be there had sprung up when me and Matt built our house and built our driveway, and the trees on the driveway shade the garden, and some of the others had grew bigger and they were shading it. So even then we were talking about, next year, probably for 3 or 4 years before that, we were saying we ought to really have those trees cut. We ought to have those trees cut. And Matt could have certainly done it then, but the power line is right there too, so you got to be careful about that. And Matt could do it now too, of course, but
I don't know about that.
well, I mean, you could if you had to. Anyway, then you add the 8 year or the 7 years 7 years, 8 years, 7 years will be 8.
It's in the 8th year.
In the 8th year since Pap's been gone. Add that to the growth of those trees, then we've got to take those trees down or we'd just be growing in the shade. So we got to do that. So that's going to be a work, which we're going to, Thomas, our wonderful friend, and he feels like family. He kind of is by relation, I guess. But he's going to help us with that. Thomas is the one that helped us with the bank. Was that last year too? So that was another accomplishment. We left that out for 2023, that we got the beds on the bank. That was it. Yeah, we left that out of that was great. We got that managed to do that too. Anyway, he's going to help us with taking the trees down. So that's going to be a major job. Of course, we need to do that before.
Gotta get started.
Got to get started. Another thing that Matt, now that we have more land down there that we can use, Matt talked about building a small barn, so that's a possibility.
Yeah, I've always wanted a barn, and we've always needed one, and now we've waited until I'm nice and old and bent over to decide to build one.
Which will mean it'll be really fun.
It'll be fun, yeah.
Oh, goodness. You ain't that old.
No, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough I don't have the want to anymore.
Yeah, that does happen. I understand. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to have the barn. It just seems more monumental to get it done now than it did 20 years ago.
You'd like to have the barn if it was one of those like on the cartoons that you pop out and it blows up. Anyway, lots of excitement, and time will only tell if we succeed, like Matt said, in doing any or all of this, but we're going to give it our best effort, right?
Right. We'll probably have some corn growing down there with just little sprigs here and there. Probably have a big canvas tent up for a barn.
Probably, yeah, have or maybe not even have one.
Yeah.
But
Just have our tillers and stuff.
have one
under a tarp.
row dug down through the middle with corn, and that's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that's our hopes and plan. But like Matt said, we're going to have 2 new grandbabies, and Granny's still certainly not out of the woods yet. And so, and you never know. Like with Miss Cindy, you never know what life's going to throw at you. But those are our plans, and we are excited about growing corn.
It'll be nice to go down there.
Yeah, and we'll grow some other stuff too down there. We'll probably have some other things, but I'm sorry, what was you going to say? Be exciting to...
Oh, it'd be nice to go down there in the summer and pull ears of corn off and come up here and cook them and eat them right then. That'd be fantastic.
Fantastic.
Like we used to.
Yeah, and I'm already dreaming about of course we always grew, Pap and Matt always grew Silver Queen, and Pap did before Matt was ever out here, but I'm anxious to, of course, we'll grow that, but anxious to try the corn that Debbie shared with us. That, if I remember right, a subscriber actually brought to her, right?
I think so,
yeah.
yeah.
So, and it's open plant, you say that?
Open-pollinated.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, excited to try that. And then hopefully maybe we'll have a big long row of peas or something down there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Lots of work.
Yeah, lots of work, but really exciting for me and Matt that have mourned the loss of the corn for all these years.
I don't know if these old tillers we got's gonna till that place all the way through or not.
Yeah, we should probably ask you if you've got a good tip for a good tiller, not one will tear up after you use it for 3 rows.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good one anymore.
Just like anything else. Well, we hope that you enjoyed hearing about some of our plans for 2024 and kind of us reminiscing about 2023. We're really grateful for you. I'll get teary-eyed if I don't watch it, but we're really grateful for you. Without you, Matt couldn't have never come home. I couldn't be doing what I love every day of the world, and we just really could never express how much we appreciate you. Just saying that seems so shallow, but it's just hard to, that's all we have is words, right? But we really do. We're really, really thankful for you. And we hope that you'll continue to drop by and visit with us for this new year of 2024 and help us celebrate Appalachia. Okay, thumbnail. You want to do a...
No.
Why?
Because that's ignorant.
I don't think so. I think it's good.
It's ignorant.
I could do this and be like... There you go, do it. Do it. Okay, do it. Did you really do it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't think you would.
Why'd you not?
I just didn't. Okay, now we better do a normal one in case that don't work. Maybe I should hold this up like, I don't know, people will be like, what are you writing about quilts for?
Yeah,
Okay.